Good afternoon, Jennifer and class. Tonight we will be discussing Bauhaus and the rise of mass consumerism. The Bauhaus School was founded in 1919 by the German architect Walter Gropius in the German city of Weimar. Due to Germany's tumultuous history, the Bauhaus School has seen three campuses: Weimar from 1919 to 1925, Dessau from 1925 to 1932, and in Berlin from 1932 to 1933, where they closed under pressure from the Nazi Party. At the core, Gropius wanted a school that was free from the social classes which were traditionally seen in architecture at the time. Many of his students were former World War I soldiers, and the Bauhaus School provided them with meals and a place to sleep. At the time the school opened, World War I had just come to an end, and many felt that humanity could not continue in the same way. Life needed to change in Germany, and Walter Gropius created the Bauhaus Manifesto, which underlined a need for architecture to become art. Gropius believed that the ultimate goal of art is the building, and that the craftsmen should be schooled in the techniques of art as well as craftsmanship. In his quest to create an art community that will finally build, Gropius created one of the most notorious and influential schools of the 20th century. The goal of the Bauhaus was to create an environment where traditional craftsmen could learn the methods of art and apply it to their crafts, to build. Artists used technique in their work such as colour composition, light, space and form, and he believed that craftsmen and architects did not. In Walter Gropius' mind, this was the future of architecture and design. A transformation in education occurred, one that is still used in schools today. Gropius believed that the constructive manner to which painters created their images could bring a new era of thought to architecture and design. He broke down the social framework between art, sculpture, architecture and design, seeing it all as one. He brought in famous architects such as Wassily Kandinsky and Oskar Schlemmer to help his idea come to light. This led to the Bauhaus School creating individually designed, bespoke versions of everyday items. Many new designs emerged from the Bauhaus School, including lighting, furniture, clothing, gadgets and kitchen items. An ordinary item's concept was stripped down to its essential elements and recreated. Form and function created a visual and functionally balanced composition using the new Bauhaus methods. Many of these objects look so modern and futuristic for their time and appear modern even by today's standards. Some of these include the chess set created by Joseph Hartwig in 1922. Compared to a traditional chess set, the Hartwigs are simplified using the Bauhaus method, where form must accompany function. Here, the form of the chess pieces signal how each piece moves across the board. In another example, the traditional lamp was stripped down to bare function. The Bauhaus lamp by Wilhelm Wagenfeld and Carl Jacob Jonker is an icon of modern industrial design. Everything down to the lampshade was redesigned, and it was the world's first electric lamp to use scattered lighting. These new items were not only elegant and futuristic, but simple in their design. They were easy to use and easily understood. Materials like wood were replaced by metals. Intricate wooden joints were replaced by welding. Design followed the methods of art and the principles of engineering. Rather than taking inspiration from an existing item, at Bauhaus, inspiration was taken from planes, racing cars and bicycles. In the Bauhaus School, everything made a statement, from the designs themselves to the simple and bold new typography and graphic design. With industrialization came a new method of production for the Bauhaus School. It moved from creating individual bespoke items to creating prototypes for mass production. This was a natural next step for the school, and there was an increased availability of metals such as aluminium and steel. to the efficiency of the designs and the principles of the school, the Bauhaus items became more accessible. They were cheaper to produce, package and transport, and so began a new era of mass consumerism. War brought about mass production in factories with the manufacture of ammunition, armoury, vehicles, tanks and planes. After World War I, these factories continued to produce the metals that allowed Bauhaus design to be mass-produced. As a wider variety of products came to consumers, shopping became a leisure activity, with consumers trying to outdo each other. The higher your social status, the more you could buy, and with the working class becoming more and more wealthy, more people could afford to spend. Shopping became an element of everyday life. Improved technologies during the Industrial Revolution, including in the factory lines and in transportation, led to an increase in products reaching buyers. During the Industrial Revolution, the mass production in factories led to an economic crisis. The supply of products was far more than the demand. This crisis led to an increase in strategic advertising to increase awareness of products as well as consumer spending. Meanwhile, in Germany, the Nazi Party was rising, and the city of Weimar was no exception. Anti-communist parades and pressure from the Nazi Party saw the Bauhaus school move to Dessau, which was an industrial city. Dessau was far more liberal, and due to the abundance of factories, it was also a wealthier city. At this time, the Bauhaus was designing for mass production, and so it was an organic fit. With pressure from the Nazi Party, the Bauhaus closed in 1933. This was an apprehensive time in Germany, and many of the school's staff left, taking the Bauhaus principles with them. Though Bauhaus spread to the world, it was in the USA that it became particularly notable. Specifically, Chicago became the architectural hub of the modern world, with the arrival of Walter Gropius, Mies van der Rohe, Laszlo Moholy-Nagy and others. Pressure from the Nazis allowed the influence and teaching of the school to spread around the world and continue. Bauhaus design erupted the status quo, with many new household items emerging with a clean and minimalistic look. Backed by the USA's trade, Bauhaus design was able to take the world by storm. Until Bauhaus, art and design was conformist. Students learnt by copying the same things. Bauhaus encouraged individual thought. It allowed students to think outside the box, and for consumers, new versions of existing items brought back intrigue and engagement. As consumerism increased, so did industry productivity. As consumer goods became more affordable, further improvement in quality and productivity could take place. This process meant expanding the range of goods available to consumers. An improved design and aesthetic created more interest in the public, meaning that more people wanted to buy and consume. Bauhaus began a revolution of design, implementing both arts and crafts, where form and function sit harmoniously together. Today, the Bauhaus methods can be seen all around us, with items taking up place in our everyday lives. In Wiltshire, Germany, the home of Volkswagen, Bauhaus can be clearly seen in their factory design. The architects behind this building created a place for Volkswagen to store their new vehicles waiting to be collected by their new owner. The underground tunnel connects the factory directly to the towers, and every step along the car's path is designed so the car does not need to be driven. The first kilometre on each car can be done by the owner. Volkswagen add further experience here by allowing new owners to collect the car from the towers, watch it move through the building on hoists to be delivered in front of the customer to drive away, including a photograph team to take a picture with the new family member. The simplified function and design of these towers are a modern example of the Bauhaus methods in practice. In conclusion, It is clear to see that the history of the Bauhaus laid down a foundation for consumerism in the 20th century that extends even to this day. Thank you for your time.